music goes on and on and on and on.
I want to talk about my mama real quick. Let's talk about my mama. Listen, you know, I like to call her super, that's my, stand up. Listen, oh, she took off those shoes. Let me tell you something. We were at my grandfather likes to pick on her, okay? Because she said, well, this is casual. This is casual. Look at what she has on. She calls this casual. Don't act like you don't want to stand up. Maybe she needs some encouragement. Let me tell you something. She had on these, I don't know what the size was, maybe 6-inch heels earlier, okay? But my grandfather picked on her, so she took those shoes off. You can sit back down, sit back down. You don't want to stand up. Listen, I like to call her Superwoman sometimes because you call Val if you need a new car, you call her if you need a new house, maybe you need a lawyer, you need some new hair. You call Val, but don't call Val if you're hungry. Because she don't cook. And it's not that she doesn't know how to cook, she just doesn't do it. And that's why I'm really so skinny, you know? I got out to New York, they said, eating? What is eating? Oh, I'm not used to eating. No. See, my daddy does not call the Chinese man anymore. They call him, okay? He does not need to place an order. They just call him and tell them what they're delivering. Okay? That's exactly what happens. You know... And you all don't know that they got me started pretty early. They had me going to auditions pretty early. I can remember going to an audition for a commercial, and it was one of those Feed the Children commercials. It was one of those Feed the Children commercials. And you in the casting notice, it said seeking African American boys, closer to Ethiopian, the better, ages 3 to 7. I was 10 at the time. And I obviously didn't get the part, you know, because I was a smart little boy. So when we went to rehearse for my part that they wanted me for, I'm sitting there and I didn't want the flies in my face because I wanted to be a pretty little boy too. I didn't want those flies in my face, so the flies are just flying. No, move. I am on TV. Move the flies. Move the flies. And then I look to the left and they have men releasing flies. You mean to tell me they hired these flies? And I was wondering why that stage makeup tasted like cotton candy. I couldn't believe they had those flies off to the side. So, you know, I wanted to talk to the director. So, like I said, I was a smart little boy. So I said, excuse me, Mr. Director. Wait. Excuse me, Mr. Director Man. I see all this fancy equipment, and I mean, that light alone probably cost you $1,000. Why don't you just feed the children? Got all this money, I mean, just sell this stuff. You can take it over to the pawn shop, and I'm quite sure you can get a pretty penny. And you know, we were on set, so there were real Ethiopian children on the set. So I was over by I said, hey, and I was over by the refreshment table earlier, and one of the little Ethiopian boys asked for an apple. And your crew told him, no, this is for the cast and crew only. Well, why don't you give